Hello once again, folks. Jose Rodriguez here. I'm going to take you to QIMAGE directly and I'm going to print something real quick. I'm going to show you how easy it is to print and be assured that you get what you expect. I am assuming, of course, your monitor has been properly calibrated. It is displaying all the tonal values of your image neutral. Okay, that's the key. Your luminosity is set to the correct luminance level. That way your prints are not edited and then look too bright or too dark in print form. But as far as your settings go, I'm just going to go ahead and print. I have one more sheet of that beautiful matte paper from Canon. That's this puppy right here. I have a custom profile for it. And this is the kind of results you get, folks. Okay. This image is by my friend Harold Davies. Look at that. Okay. And that was edited in Lightroom and exported over to QIMAGE for printing. It only takes a few steps and you will never perform the most common error everyone has performed or committed in their printing lifespan, let's just say. Double profiling. That is where you tell, say, your application. In this case, we're going to use a custom profile. So I have to tell QIMAGE to print with a custom profile that I created. When you tell QIMAGE or any other application that you want to print with a custom profile, okay, as we will do in this case, specifically because we used a Canon paper on an Epson printer, I created a custom profile. We're going to tell QIMAGE to use that profile. But at the same time, I don't want the driver to assume that it needs to control color. And it will do that if you don't actually tell it not to. Well, in QIMAGE, that is done for you automatically. Even if you want to make the error, it will not allow you to do so. So let's jump into QIMAGE. I'm going to walk you A, B, C, D, E, and then we are done. We can print that image, okay? And it will match your monitor because we pre-tested this combination of the monitor and the printer with the standard image. We printed the standard image again using the proper settings that I'm going to walk you through. The results, of course, the standard image is never edited. You open it and you print it, and then you compare it to your monitor. What is your monitor displaying? How is it showing you that particular image? Does it match the obviously near perfect results I guarantee you will get if you do it the way I'm going to show you? You then have to match this to what you get on your printer, the standard image that is. That is your control. Okay? That is your control. So once you look at the control results and you go, wow, uh, that is perfectly neutral. I can see black all the way to white. The kids' faces look absolutely perfectly normal, and everything else looks perfectly fine. And my neutral images, part of the whole collage, look neutral. Black to white looks neutral with no tonal changes, as in hue. It doesn't start off cool and turn warm and then back to neutral. No, it's neutral throughout. So once you achieve that, then you look at your monitor and you say, does this match my print that I know is close to being perfect? Yes or no. If it does not, you have to recalibrate your monitor. Make sure you do it correctly, and then you will get a linearly neutral result where all your R, G, and B will be from black all the way to white. Yes, RGB also works that way. And once you achieve that, then this can be trusted. So now my standard image in my monitor matches my standard image on print. That's it. Since the two match, logically, I can now trust my monitor for editing my unknown images. And that's the unknown sample, as we call it in the laboratory. We have our negative control, you have our positive control, and then we have our unknown. And those are our images. Now we can trust that what we see is actually what the image is. And so when you edit something, You're actually basically trusting that that edit will be represented on paper. Okay? There are still some limits. Talk about gamut some other time. But the colors themselves, the ones that are in gamut, will be reproduced as close as humanly possible and match your monitor. It's not going to be 100% ever, okay? But close enough. Close enough for government work, as they say. All right, so let's jump over to QIMAGE. Okay, so here we are in QIMAGE, and as you can see, I have several raw files opened here. What happens during the opening process is QIMAGE will apply a camera and lens profile to each image. So it takes a little bit of time to create the thumbnails, but once they are created, they are now converted. If you recall my demonstration on Lightroom, you have to apply that basically manually. QIMAGE does it automatically. So let's just pick one of these images here, and I'll walk you through what I normally do. I'm not going to edit this tremendously. I'm just going to go ahead and open one. Now, my printer settings are going to be as such. 8550 chosen on top. You basically follow this in order. That's all you have to do. Epson 8550, in this case, presentation paper matte is the paper type. That is Epson paper type that I utilize when I created the custom profile for that Canon paper I showed you earlier. Letter size 8.5 by 11, rear paper feeder, portrait mode, and of course the profile. Here it is. In order to find that profile, you have to go into your either suggest paper profiles or browse. Find that I have hundreds and hundreds of profiles, so I just basically suggest it. It'll find it for me, and I just apply it. So that is it. Now, once I have those settings nailed down, I usually save them. And I just go here, click on here, and create a name, a title, by which I'll be able to then relocate that particular setup. And then once I do so, I can simply go into the folder, say 6 months from now, and find one of these paper setups. Okay, there's a bunch of different printers, a bunch of different paper setups right here, and this will recall everything about that layout. And this is what we have done here. So I have the 8.5 by 11. I have a 3/4 inch border all the way around. I have a stroke that is 3 pixels wide, black, and this is it. And the most important thing, I have my profile already loaded automatically for me. And let's check to see if the driver is allowing us or wants to interfere, let's just say, and try to double profile. We'll click on properties, move it over here. We go to more options, custom, advanced. You see that no color adjustment. Let's tell the driver to control color by choosing ICM. Never, by the way, folks, please, never choose color controls or choose fixed photo. Color controls is only if you want to print in black and white mode, or you want to manually, for whatever the reason, adjust certain things such as density. This is important if you're printing on certain types of burrito paper, which may tend to absorb too much ink and begin to buckle, and that will cause head strikes. So this is the only time that you go into that particular type of control, color controls, and you can adjust the density. And you need to run a lot of tests, prints, to figure out what is the minimum ink density you require to create a full set of densities from black to white. You just don't want them to become wet, okay? That means too much ink, okay? So, advanced, we'll set it to ICM. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click OK, and it should block me. Driver AI has fixed some printer driver settings. Click for more info. The following driver settings were made automatically. And let's go ahead and it fixed the color management mode. So what did it really do? What did it fix? Let's go back and we're going to check to see if it's still in ICM mode. No, it's back to no color management. So that means it will always prevent me from double profiling. Let's click on that image. So now I can print it as is, or I can just do a minimal amount of editing. We'll double click it. It'll open up the editing panel. Remember on the previous video, I wanted to create a black and white point just above black and just below white. one button. That's all you need. 0.5 above black and 0.5 below white. Once we are here, we might as well click on 2x maybe and see what it looks like. That is the grain structure. Maybe go back down to 1x. And we could apply output sharpening. This is deep focus sharpening. So we can do this. I will add, say, 2 and about 150. We'll see what happens here. You see that it sharpened it a little bit. It did not create any halos, any kind of image artifacts. Beautiful. Do I like the saturation? Do I like the contrast? Do I like the brightness? Again, that's just something you can adjust here by simply adding a little bit of brightness, a little bit of contrast. Maybe a bit more color saturation if you wish to do so. I am not going to do that. I'm going to leave everything as is. That's it. We're done. So I didn't really even have to do any of that. All right, so we're back. Those tiny adjustments were applied. I'm ready to print this. Again, let's just review what we did. We chose the 8550 presentation paper matte simply because that's the paper choice that I used to create the profile for the Canon Paper Pro Premium Matte Paper, 8.511, and rear paper feeder in the profile. That's it. That's all you have to do. Print. It'll start to queue up, and once it is done, we'll come back to me and we'll take a look and see what we have. I'm going to go ahead and add myself to this. I'm going to turn on my overhead light and my side light so I can show you simultaneously the results between what you see here and what you are seeing in the printed form. So I have some beautiful prints here that I just recently did. This is not going to take too long. It's only going to take maybe 45 seconds to print a letter size image in color. And that's basically because it is on matte paper. Matte paper prints very quickly on the 8550. And here you are. Okay. So now that we have that, this actually matches visually when I see it to what I see here on my main screen. This screen right here, that's not calibrated at all. So I am looking at this and I have a color match. Okay. So that is what you want. You want to be able to trust what you see on your screen and compare it to your printed results. And by golly, it matches. So I'm very happy about that. That's wonderful. Let me jump over to just me. Yeah, so here's a printed result. And again, amazing the results you get with that paper combination. I am really, really sold by it. And I'm looking at this visually. I cannot show you both because of the video, the lighting. You'll always see a slight mismatch. But I'm telling you guys, it is practically 100% match color-wise, to the point where no reasonable person would have an issue with what they are seeing. So that's the whole goal printing photos. You want that match. You want that match to what you are actually editing and printing. So let me quickly show you some previously printed results. A window in a historic old home. This is black and white, but really is a color image. How about that? So it's trees, backlit to a certain level that just basically eliminated all the color. Gorgeous. And again, I want you guys to see the level of the blacks, if you want to call them that, is not dark grays. These are strong blacks, and this is what you get. This is why I love that 8550. And compared to the 15,000, which is totally only dye inks, the 8550 has the matte pigment ink, the black ink, which aids when you choose a matte media. Look at that. Okay, it adds that level or that Dmax that you cannot achieve simply with a full dye ink set. I don't care what you have. It's just simply not going to be the same. So if you're looking for something that will allow you to print on, say, for instance, this particular paper, and I just accidentally discovered that combination, and I couldn't wait to pass it on to you guys. That's why I made that custom profile. But again, although this printer may not produce the best reds in the business, that 15,000 does, because it has red ink. Had this printer been equipped with red and say maybe even a blue ink, oh my gosh, it would put the Pro 1000 to shame. It would. Even at this point, when you make a comparison, it's really funny how close the quality of the Pro 1000 compared to the 8550. Before I leave you, let me show you this. We'll just use this one. So this is Pro 1000. Okay. And again, you just cannot really fault it. It's fantastic. 8550. This is AI. This is not a real image. I created it via AI. Okay, but had I printed this on this same paper, I think it would have been almost indistinguishable in quality. It, it, it's almost funny. It's almost comical that this printer can actually print so well. Okay, and again, your reds are not going to be, if you do a direct comparison between both printers, the 15,000 and the 8550, and also the Pro 1000, those two printers will put it, you know, to shame when it comes to reds. But it's not that much of a difference. Okay, when I say to shame, it's just, yeah, it's going to be better. But if I never show you, okay, the same photo with that problematic red that this printer simply cannot reproduce because it doesn't have a red ink, you will never know. You will never know. So consider it. It's on sale right now by many of these camera stores. So, you know, grab one if you are looking for a good printer that's not going to put you in the poorhouse. I don't know why you wouldn't want to buy one. Okay, and keep your eyes open for Epson possibly creating other types of EcoTank printers. I'm hoping, praying, please, 17-inch printer. Can you imagine? And maybe add another color. Oh my gosh. That would be, yeah, that would be the best present ever. All right. Thank you. That's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And as always, happy printing, everyone. Bye-bye.